denying the fact that he punched his uncle Prince Andrew so hard that he made his nose bleed. That never happened, it's not true. So this was the denial. Quite an extraordinary denial. Claims that Harry left Prince Andrew with a broken nose, a bloody nose at least, after a fight. Prince Harry didn't feel any need to weigh in and deny Omid Scobie had accused his father and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, of being racists.
Prince Harry has had enough, or so he says. He's furious, outraged, and this time, he's not staying silent. But here's the twist. He's not angry about the endless public attacks on his cancer-stricken father. He's not upset about the royal racism allegations that dragged his entire family's name through the mud. And he's certainly not losing sleep over the chaos his wife has caused on both sides of the Atlantic. No, Harry has chosen to flip out over a single passage in a new royal tell-all that claims he punched his own uncle, Prince Andrew, in the face. That's the line for him. That's where he draws the sword. And you know what? The timing couldn't be more revealing. Because when Omid Scobie dragged King Charles and Princess Kate into a racist firestorm in his book, Endgame, Harry didn't say a word. Not a peep. Not even when his father and sister-in-law were quietly battling cancer behind palace doors. That silence, chilling. But now, suddenly, when his name gets mentioned in a rumor about a fist fight, boom. Here comes the royal spokesperson, rushing to People magazine, ready to shut it down with one firm message. That never happened. So what gives? Why is a decades-old family dust up the thing Harry can't ignore, but a global scandal involving his own wife's accusations? Silence. Why does he leap to defend himself, but not the family he once called his whole world? That's what has people talking. That's what has Prince William furious. And that's why this latest outburst may be the clearest look yet at who Harry has become. Let's unpack all of it. Because this story is way bigger than a bloody nose. It's about betrayal, reputation, and a royal family running out of patience. The controversy started with a new book by respected journalist Andrew Lowy. In it, he describes a shocking moment at a family gathering back in 2013 where tensions reportedly boiled over between Prince Harry and Prince Andrew. According to the source, Andrew made a snide comment about Harry behind his back. Harry found out. Words were exchanged. And before anyone could step in, Harry allegedly clocked his uncle in the face, leaving him with a bloody nose. A jaw-dropper? Absolutely. But also, plausible. Harry's own memoir. Spare admitted he once got physical with his brother William during an argument. He's also confessed to years of anger issues, drinking, and impulse problems. So when this new story hit the press, people didn't immediately dismiss it. In fact, many said, yeah, that tracks. And that's what set Harry off. Within hours, a spokesperson fired back, Prince Harry and Prince Andrew have never had a physical fight, nor did Andrew ever make those disparaging comments about Meghan. These claims are false. Strong words. Clear denial? Case closed, right? Not quite. Because this sudden, aggressive response opened a new can of worms. It raised a much bigger question. Why didn't Harry react this way to the racism allegations? Let's rewind. When Meghan Markle sat down with Oprah and implied that unnamed royals had questioned Archie's skin color, the world erupted. Headlines, talk shows, condemnation. The royal family was painted as cold, calculating, and bigoted. Later, Omid Scobie, Meghan's unofficial mouthpiece, published Endgame, where he flat out named Charles and Catherine as the royal racists Meghan had hinted at. And what did Harry do? Nothing. Not a word, not a statement, not even a half-hearted, "That's not what we meant." He let the accusations stand. He let them spread. And he did it all while knowing that his father was quietly battling cancer and his sister-in-law was in treatment as well. That silence, that was a choice, a calculated one. And yet now, over a decade-old claim about throwing a punch at Prince Andrew, suddenly he's Mr. Accountability. It's hypocrisy in plain sight. Even royal insiders have said what everyone's thinking. Harry only defends what serves his image. He's happy to let others burn, so long as he doesn't feel the heat. And Prince William? According to sources, he's had enough. He's watched his brother stand by while Meghan trashed the family. He's watched the Netflix docuseries, the Oprah special, the Spotify drama, and now this latest scandal. Each time Harry had a chance to step in, to clarify, to say, that's not how it happened. he didn't. But this time, when his name is dragged through the mud, he suddenly finds his voice. And not just that, he finds it through People magazine. The same outlet used countless times by Meghan's PR team to spin their own version of reality. It's not just damage control, it's a pattern. And that pattern, it's crumbling. Because the very same week Harry flipped out over the book, Meghan was busy launching her wine brand with a photo shoot featuring her bare feet. Yes, you read that right. Meghan Markle, Duchess turned Duchess in denial, decided to relaunch as ever with a campaign that looked less like luxury branding and more like a forgotten OnlyFans promo. And if you're thinking, that's bizarre timing, you're not alone. Because at the same moment Harry was trying to pull focus away from the brawl allegations, Meghan was pushing her brand in the strangest way possible. Critics jumped on it immediately. Why is she always barefoot? Is this really how you market wine? Is this woman serious? And as it turns out, even her own agency might be asking the same questions. Multiple reports say WME, William Morris Endeavor, is on the verge of cutting ties with Meghan entirely. At first, she was Ari Emanuel's star recruit. Now, she's a liability. The Netflix deal is drying up. Spotify's already walked away, her podcast fizzled, the animated series got canned, and even the most loyal industry voices are saying she's too difficult, she doesn't listen, she doesn't take advice. It's a classic Meghan move. Burn every bridge, then cry victim. And Harry, he's still playing the same tune. He lashes out at a rumor about a fistfight, but he says nothing about the chaos swirling around his wife, nothing about the collapse of every brand she's touched, nothing about the fact that Meghan, despite claiming to be a savvy entrepreneur, can't seem to launch a single consistent product. As ever has been a disaster. Every drop sells out instantly because there's barely any stock. No customer service, no clarity, no path forward. Just chaos, confusion, and toes. It would be funny if it weren't so sad. Because while the Sussexes scramble for attention, the royal family is carrying on. With grace, quiet strength, and real public support. Catherine is undergoing treatment privately. Charles is still showing up for duties. And William? He's holding the line. Not with drama, not with staged beach photos, just quiet dignity. And that contrast? It's louder than anything Harry and Meghan could ever say. Speaking of beach photos, let's talk about those. TMZ recently published shots of Harry, Meghan, and Archie frolicking on the sand in California. The headline, Pure PR Sugar. Surf's up, royal family living their best life in Cali sunshine. But dig a little deeper, and you'll see what viewers really noticed. Archie wasn't playing with other kids. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't even in the same type of clothing. While others were casual, barefoot, messy, he was pristine, dressed differently, off to the side. It looked staged. It looked unnatural. And once again, the criticism came pouring in. Why does everything feel like a photo shoot? Do they ever just exist? Where are the real moments? And the answer, they don't exist, not anymore. Every appearance, every product, every post, it's all curated, controlled, manufactured. And this latest meltdown over the Andrew book, it's the clearest sign yet that Harry and Meghan are losing control of the narrative. They can't keep up the facade, not when the cracks are showing everywhere. Harry wants to be seen as strong, but lashes out over a rumor and hides from the real scandals. Meghan wants to be a mogul, but can't even deliver a consistent product line. They want to be seen as victims, but they've burned every lifeline they had. And now, they're standing alone, on a beach, with a camera they probably called themselves, selling wine, selling drama, selling anything that might keep them in the headlines just a little longer. But the public sees through it. And Prince William, he's done waiting for apologies. Because at some point, silence isn't just disappointing, it's betrayal. And when your brother picks a fight over a punch, but lets your wife call your father a racist and your wife a villain, there's no coming back from that. Not even for Harry. Here's the thing. Harry's latest tantrum isn't just about one rumor in one book. It's about losing control. He's watching his public image spiral, his alliances vanish, and his carefully curated persona fall apart one tabloid headline at a time. And worse than the scandal is the spotlight, because Harry was never trained for this type of fame. The American version, the 24/7's, content-hungry, unforgiving Hollywood machine, he was raised in tradition, duty, ceremony. But when he left that behind, what did he really think he was signing up for? You can almost hear it in the desperate denial. "I didn't hit Andrew, that never happened." It sounds more like a man trying to convince himself than the public. Because this isn't about Andrew, or even the bloody nose. It's about control over the narrative. And Harry is losing that fight badly. In fact, this isn't even the first time his anger has gotten the better of him. His own book, Spare, is littered with moments where his temper exploded. Fights with William, security staff, even arguments with aides. His mood swings, his drinking, his grief, all painted a picture of a man constantly on edge, constantly ready to lash out. So is it really that hard to believe he might have taken a swing at Andrew? Not for most people. That's why his denial landed like a thud. It didn't reassure, it raised eyebrows. And here's the brutal truth. Harry's word just doesn't carry weight anymore. Too many contradictions, too many narratives flipped, too many times he's played the victim while launching attacks of his own. Let's not forget, this is the same man who wanted space from the royal family, then released a memoir trashing every one of them. The same man who claimed to crave privacy, and then filmed a Netflix documentary about his private life. The same man who said he loved his brother, right before accusing him of violent behavior. So when he now says, "I never hit Andrew," it doesn't land as truth. It lands as damage control. And what about Meghan? While Harry scrambles to defend himself, she's off in her own world. Feet up, quite literally, trying to sell wine and whimsy while the empire burns around her. Her timing is never just coincidental. Releasing that wine promo just days after Harry's Africa disappearance, and right as the Andrew fight rumor caught fire, that's not accidental, that's textbook distraction. But it didn't work. Instead of shifting the narrative, it added fuel to the fire. Because now people are not only questioning Harry's credibility, they're openly mocking Meghan's. How can she expect anyone to take her seriously as a businesswoman when every launch looks like a rushed vanity project? How can she build a loyal customer base when products are inconsistent, overpriced, and unavailable? How can she present herself as a champion of female empowerment when all her ventures seem rooted in selling her own image and nothing more? Even loyal fans are starting to see the cracks. The soft-spoken, humanitarian Duchess image has given way to something far more chaotic, unfocused, opportunistic, and behind the smiles and sunshine photos, there's a clear sense of desperation. The kind of desperation you feel when the world has moved on, and you're still trying to prove you matter. Let's not forget what this couple once had: global goodwill, royal status, sympathy, and a platform unlike any other. They had the ear of Hollywood, the curiosity of the media, and a golden ticket with Netflix, Spotify, Penguin Books, and WME. And now, Netflix is fading. Spotify walked. WME wants out, the books are over, the docuseries buzz is gone. All that's left is the noise. And even that's starting to feel tired. So when Harry says, "I'm sick of this," the world responds with a collective, "So are we." Because this isn't the bold, brave new life they promised. It's not independent, it's not purposeful, it's not inspiring. It's petty, it's reactive, it's tragic, and the worst part, there's no end in sight. Because Harry and Meghan have built their entire post-royal identity on controversy, on pushing back, on painting themselves as targets of a cruel establishment. But now, without new attacks, they have no storyline. And so, they create one. Or worse, they fall apart the moment someone else writes one for them. That's what this Andrew fight claim represents. Not a real threat, just the fear of losing control over the narrative, of being seen not as victims, but as flawed people, as aggressors, as opportunists. And if you strip away the titles, the estates, the headlines, that's the one thing they can't stomach. Because being vulnerable, being honest, owning up to past mistakes, that doesn't sell Netflix shows. That doesn't move wine bottles. That doesn't keep the press calling. So instead, we get this circus. The denials, the spin, the PR games, and behind all of it, a growing emptiness. A quiet admission that the world they built outside the palace walls just isn't working. So what now? Prince William is focused on the future. The crown, his family, his duty. Charles is still trying to keep the institution standing through illness and unrest. Catherine is doing everything she can to heal, out of the spotlight with grace and strength. But Harry, He's still picking fights in the tabloids, still calling up PR reps, still yelling, "I never hit him," while letting far more serious accusations fester. That's not leadership. That's not growth. That's not the man Diana raised him to be. And deep down, he probably knows it. But knowing something and changing it, that's a different story. Until then, he'll keep denying. Meghan will keep launching, and the cracks will keep showing. Because when you care more about defending your pride than protecting your family, eventually, you end up with neither. And that, more than any rumor or scandal, is what makes this latest royal meltdown so